talking to you today about Dew Skin Tinted Moisturizer as well as Tint Skin Hydrating Foundation, and then we're going to end up with concealer. Your Dew Skin is going to give you a lightweight moisturizer with SPF, super sheer coverage, and the SPF is 20. It is safe because we use non-nano zinc oxide. So what you're going to do is just take about a dime size, just this much, because I'm just going to do half of my face. I like to use my hands. Use a brush if you wanted to. So it's just going to help to even out skin tone, give you a luminous finish, and then help give you some sun protection as well. You could wear this alone, you could layer it under your foundation, or you could layer it under a powder. The tint skin is going to have a lot more pigment, and it is buildable. I like to use, you could use your hand, you could use a beauty blender, you could use any type of brush, but my recommendation is using a nice, more fluffy, loose kabuki brush. It's going to give you a nice, even, light coverage and help your foundation to really go a long way instead of using a more dense brush, which this kind of brush would probably give you more fuller coverage. So the brush you use, the application is really going to depend on the coverage. This one, Tint Skin Hydrating Foundation, does not have a SPF in it. Okay, so I accidentally grabbed my darker shade. I carry two shades because as I tan or as my tan fades, my skin tone changes, so I like to be able to really customize the color that I'm using. So I have a little bit of golden on. I tried to wipe it off. I'm gonna go back. I do have some left on my brush. I normally wear the shade Honey. Now I did apply a primer before I put this on, and I've been playing around with, I just got the Maybelline Baby Skin because it rated really well as far as safe and clean for my skin. This is a little bit damp. Okay, so that is kind of a really nice medium coverage. If there's any place that I wanted more coverage, I could just go in and dab some more on in that area. Take a little bit more of this lighter shade right there where I have some redness on my little or large blemish, and then I'll dab that in again. I have been wearing this foundation for 2 years now, and it took some adjusting from my old drugstore foundation, but I like it. It gives a nice second skin type of feel. It is more dewy, but it will set, and I like pairing it with Beautycounter's mattifying powder, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But I just want to show you the coverage. So my skin tone is nice and even. I'll have to finish up with some blush and bronzer, but that is Tint Skin Hydrating Foundation. Again, you could use a beauty sponge, a brush. Some just tips are to wear a primer underneath. If you're going to apply it with your hands, do make sure your hands are clean. Oh, and when you are running out, go ahead and cut right there around where the B is, and you'll find you probably have a week's left of product in. So this is $42. It lasts me 6 months, so that's only $7 a month for really great quality foundation. Touch-up concealer. I have two shades, medium one, which is more my skin tone. So if I wanted to use that to do any extra coverage, I would use my skin tone. If I wanted for brightening, then I would use the lighter one. So I'll show you the brightening right here under the eyes. And you could use your finger to tap that out, or a brush. So I like to use the touch-up concealer pen to help define my brows. I already went in with the Color Define Brow Pencil, but I take a little bit of product and I do put some on my eyelids because I'm going to use that as a primer for any eyeshadow. And then I love that it has a little pen tip. You know what, let me put some extra on this bad boy down there. Because when I drag it across, the top and bottom edge of my brows. It gives it a really clean line. I'm gonna blend this out with a really soft brush. So I really love doing this concealer little tip if I'm really going out and I want my makeup to look really neat, because now my brows look really nice and neat. Or if you like it a little bit more fluffy, you can still brush through again just to make it look really soft and natural. So that is brows. Alright, too bad I have shadows coming from the top, but you can see it's lightened and brightened under my eyes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set with Beautycounter's mattifying powder. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit here. I'll tap off any excess and I have my fan blowing. I'm gonna set the concealer under my eyes with powder. So there's the foundation with concealer and mattifying powder. If any of you are interested in trying the Tint Skin foundation, I do have some samples. However, you have to DM me to find out how to get your hands on one of these. I have mostly the lighter shades from Porcelain, Linen, Sand, Honey, and Golden. So I usually wear the shade Honey, and then when I have a tan, it's Golden. So these are the shades that I have. If you're interested in grabbing a sample, please DM me. Touch up concealer. Whoop!